Good morning, guys. It's just such a nice day out here that I thought maybe we could do reading today outside because it's so nice. So again, welcome to Coffee with Miss Jimenez, quarantined edition. We're gonna start off by reading our story, A Bumpy Ride. It's on page 227. So if you haven't already read it, I want you to stop this, and then I want you to independently read this on your own, and then we're going to go over it together. Okay? So if you've read it, we're good to go. If you haven't, I need you to pause it and read it. Okay? Okay. All right, so we're gonna start off with A Bumpy Ride. I want you to look at that illustration. What is it illustrating? So I see, and I hope you're annotating this, I see the bicycle tire, yes, and then there's someone on top of it, and like he looks kind of like concerned, like, oof, I might land this and it might hurt. And then the man on a bicycle down below, he kind of looks amazed, like, what is going on? Like, is he really up that high? And then there's a little boy down below, and he's kind of looking at it, and he's like, what's going on? He's kind of amazed as well. His mouth is dropped open, so we know that he's in some kind of shock or amazement, right? All right, guys, so let's set a purpose for reading our story. Why are we wanting to read the story? I know I'm making you do this, but if you saw this book on a bookshelf, why would you want to read it? A bumpy ride. What do you think it's implying, or what is it inferring? All right, so we know that this story is going to be an informational text, and let's remember that informational texts are stories that we read to gather information from. They are also organized in chronological order, so it would have in first, second, third, fourth, kind of like in a timeline fashion. And then it also explains problems and how the problems were solved. It has a cause and effect relationship, kind of like we have seen on page 226. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about our vocabulary first. Contraption. So the word contraption, what do you think it means? So I'm pretty sure if you've already read this, you kind of have an idea of what the word contraption means. So contraption is kind of like a mechanism of some sort, or something that is put together. That's a contraption. A quest is kind of like a journey that you're going on, looking for something or some kind of answer. And then a craze is kind of like, so TikTok right now is a craze. So a lot of people are wanting to do little TikTok dances, right? So a craze is something that is kind of popular and people are currently wanting to do. And then era is a time frame. Okay. All right, you ready, guys? All right, A Bumpy Ride by Sharon Katz Cooper and Rachel Young. Illustrated by Ariane Elsamak. Sorry, I totally killed that name, guys. Okay. All right, page 228. So before we start reading, what do you see? I hope that over here on the side of your pages where it says my notes that we are annotating. So what are some things that we could have annotated? What are some text features or graphic features that we could have annotated? So first off, do y'all see that blue line on page 228, and then it turns into that orange line on 229? Yeah, that is, what do y'all think that is? If you said timeline, you are probably correct. So yes, this is a timeline. This is how the author has chosen to organize this text. The first time is 1818, and then the second date that we see is 1821. Did I say time? I'm sorry, guys, date. 1818 is the first date, and then 1821 is the second date. So before even reading, I want you to see that 1818 is like, do y'all see this man and he's kind of like using his feet, right? He's not really using pedals. That's kind of different, right? And then on page 229, we see this man, and he's also still not using petals, right?